Hello everyone, Shane Knutson here with Keller Williams, your trusted real estate consultant with a combined 25 years of business experience in real estate, consulting, and corporate finance. And today I wanted to build off the last video we put up on goals and the process and talk about the domino effect. Now in that last video, we used the example of achieving financial freedom and as our someday goal, and then we did a 5-year goal of buying an investment property in real estate, and then we broke that 5-year goal of investing in getting an investment property into a 1-year goal of paying off credit card debt. And then we took that 1-year goal, broke it down to a 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, and then right now. So how do we take that right now goal and build that up so that we achieve those intermediate goals to get to that someday goal? And that's where the domino effect comes in. And what the domino effect is it takes those little small things that we build up and do little by little each day. The accumulation of those small things eventually leads to the big things and that big someday goal. And we do that by doing 3 things. Okay. The first thing is we focus on our one thing, and our one thing is that right now goal. What is that thing we can do right now that's going to help us build to our 1 day goal, our 1 week, our 1 month, our 1 year, etc. We got to identify that one thing. And that one thing can be a relatively small task. It may be, a difficult task, but it's what we need to focus on right now in order to achieve those goals. And now remember the 80-20 rule. 20% of our activities actually equates to 80% of our productivity down the road. And what a lot of people do is they end up creating task lists and they start checking things off. And what ends up happening is they start checking things off the list and they feel very productive, but they checked off the easy things and not the important things. And usually what happens is those important things, or that one thing, is something that is on that list, but it's something you're pushing off because it's not easy, right? That 20% of where your focus needs to be doesn't necessarily mean it's easy. If you're trying to save that money so you can pay off that credit card that we used in the last example, in the last video example, well, if you've done that every day for years, that's a hard habit to break. Or if eating out is something you've done for years, whether it be for lunch or for dinner, that's a hard habit to break as well. And so it's not necessarily going to be easy, but it's the most important thing in order to achieve your goals. So that's the first thing we want to do, is we want to identify that one thing. What's that one thing, that most important thing we can do right now to help us achieve our goals? Once we've identified that one thing, we're going to block off. We're going to time block it so that we make sure we give it the proper focus. Now, if it's something financial, like not going out to eat, okay, so we're going to block off lunch, but instead of going to Chick-fil-A, we're going to block that time off in our office. Maybe that's a time where we get to relax. We're going to eat our lunch and listen to some music. Or maybe instead of going to the restaurant, but we want to get out of the office just to kind of get away for a second, go to a park, eat your lunch there, something to get out in nature. Some way we want to time block. And it can be for various things. If you have certain activities you need to do, let's say it's exercise, time block that exercise. Put it on your calendar. Say, okay, every day at 6 a.m. I'm going to the gym for an hour. So make sure you time block it. And then the third thing we're going to do, once we've identified, we've identified our big thing, we've time blocked it, now we have to protect that time block. We have to make sure that whatever we put on the calendar for that time block, that we don't let anything else interfere with it. So let's say you've decided every day I'm going to go at 6:30 to the gym. I'm going to spend an hour there. I'm going to get on the treadmill. I'm going to lift some weights. I'm going to do some stretching. I want to make sure I do that because I want to maintain physical condition. Well, once you put it on that calendar, you have to protect it and make sure that every day at 6:30 I'm going to be at the gym. Just like if it was something like a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment or a date. It's important. Protect it. And what ends up happening a lot of times is we identify our one thing, we time block it, and then we let other things get in the way and distract us from focusing on what we need to be doing during that time and rob us of it. Instead of going to the gym, today I'm going to sleep in. Or I actually get to the gym, but instead of getting on the treadmill and running for 30 minutes or lifting weights, I'm going to go over and talk to my buddy Phil over here for 30 minutes, and now half my time at the gym, or most of my time at the gym, is gone. And I actually showed up, but I wasn't very productive. So that's the importance of protecting that time. Now, if you do those three things, if you identify that one thing, you time block it on your calendar, and you protect that time to make sure you make that appointment. That's how we build. That's how we create the domino effect. It's those little things. We do it once, and then we do it again, and then we do it again, and then we do it again. We create habits that way. And those little things, just like we used in the example in the last video of paying off the credit card, if I save that money today, and I do it again tomorrow, and I do it again the next day, and I do it again the next day, well, then eventually at the end of the month I'm making that payment that I wanted to make and hit that goal, so that I can make that first payment. And if I keep doing it, all of a sudden that $35 we set in the last example of saving $5 by not going to Starbucks, saving $10 by not going out to lunch, saving $20 by not going out to dinner. With that $35, if I do that over and over and over again, eventually when I get to the end of the year, that $12,000 in credit card debt's gone. And when you don't have that debt around your shoulders, but you've set the habits in motion saving that money, all of a sudden, instead of that $12,000 you're paying towards your credit card, well, now you're putting that in the bank and saving, and that 5-year goal of getting that investment property gets a lot closer. Because if you're saving that $12,000, the next year you save that $12,000 instead of spending it paying back your credit card, and you do it again the next year, you do it again the next year, and then you do it again the next year. Well, then you're at year 5, and that investment property you were wanting to buy, well, now you have $48,000 to put down on it. That seems pretty reasonable in being able to get that investment property you want after 5 years. So that's where the domino effect comes in. It may seem like little small steps you're taking, but as long as you're taking those steps, you're building on it, you're protecting that time, you're time blocking, eventually you're going to get there. And that's when you accomplish those big goals you want to accomplish. Hope this video helped you. If you have any comments, list those below, whether you liked the video or didn't, or you have other topics you'd like to see us talk about. Put those in the comments down below. Hit the like button, and if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We'll have more videos coming out later. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.